Okay, so it seems that it's time to go back over the court testimony from Brett Payne. Because I'm still seeing a lot of people that are claiming that Payne said that they have no footage at all of Kohberger's car. And that is not what he said during the motion to compel hearing. He was talking about exits out of Moscow after the crime. They have footage of the car, but they don't have any footage of the route he took afterwards past Walenta. So I'm going to play the footage from the motion to compel hearing, and I'm going to post up there on that footage maps showing the routes he's talking about. And then I will discuss what's in the probable cause affidavit, explaining what they do have on video.
I just want to clarify what's in your probable cause affidavit. Does your probable cause affidavit state that Kohberger or a white Elantra went on US 95 south of Moscow?
No, it's not.
Okay. What does it state?
Memory serves states that the next time, it states that a vehicle was seen leaving the area of the crime scene, McKean Road, leaving via Walenta Drive, which heads south from that area, and then terminates on Conestoga and Moose River Drive. That's what the probable cause affidavit states.
And to your knowledge, are there other paths of travel south of Moscow besides US 95?
Yes.
And what's that other route?
I believe the one that was referenced in the affidavit goes from Moose River Drive, which turns into Sand Road at the state line, not the Idaho-Washington state line. That road continues westbound until south of Pullman and eventually leads north into Pullman at Bishop Boulevard, if memory serves.
And does that path of travel go by Watson Carry construction?
I do not believe it does.
Did you attempt to obtain surveillance on that path of travel that doesn't go through 95?
Yes, we did.
And were you successful?
I don't believe we were.
I don't have anything further.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Taylor?
Are you testifying that Mr. Kohberger did not use Highway 95 south of Moscow on November 13th?
I'm testifying that there are various routes that a person could take south of Moscow, to include Highway 95. There are also several others.
Which one does your map depict?
I believe the map starts well south of Moscow, more towards Genesee, and there is the line that starts there. However, I would direct you to the paragraph at the beginning of the map that says this is a possible route to travel between the two locations.
So you're just not sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That would include then Highway 95 south of Moscow.
Yes, ma'am.
And that would include other possible routes.
Yes, ma'am.
How many video surveillance attempts did you make to get video from businesses or homes on all of those routes?
I do not recall, but it continued for some time, attempting to find additional video footage.
What did you find?
Nothing to my recollection.
Not one video depicting the car.
To my memory, no.
Good enough, thanks.
So nowhere in that did he say that they have no video of Kohberger at all. So the people claiming that are misinterpreting what took place during that motion to compel hearing. He was specifically talking about routes leaving Moscow after they saw the vehicle leave the King Road neighborhood. Now, what do we know for sure that they have video of him on? This is evidence that has been released publicly. Of course, we won't know till trial everything that they do have him on, because there's obviously going to be other video we don't know about. Okay, so this is the PCA talking about when he is seen in Pullman before the murders. And it's talking about how at approximately 2:44, the vehicle consistent with the description of suspect vehicle 1 was seen traveling north on Southeast Nevada Street at Northeast Stadium Way. Then at approximately 2:53 a.m., a white sedan, which is consistent again with his car, was observed traveling southeast on Nevada Street in Pullman towards State Route 270. 270 connects Pullman, Washington to Moscow, Idaho. So here is a map showing what it would be like traveling northeast on southeast Nevada. So he's seen heading up that direction towards the Spark building. Then he is on camera seen heading back towards Stadium Way on Nevada Street. And I also highlighted where Highway 270 is. Now from the PCA, he was next seen on camera footage traveling westbound in the 700 block of Indian Hills Drive in Moscow at approximately 3:26 a.m. and westbound on Steiner Avenue at Highway 95 at approximately 3:28 a.m. So here is where 700 Indian Hills Drive is. And then it looks like he would have taken Indian Hills Drive to Rose Street to Steiner. And then there is Steiner at the intersection of Highway 95. Now the PCA then says there are multiple videos obtained from the King Road neighborhood that showed multiple sightings of suspect vehicle 1 starting at 3:29 a.m. and ending at 4:20 a.m. These sightings show suspect vehicle make 1 make 3 initial passes by the 1122 King Road residents, then leave via Walenta Drive. Now this would likely be the route that he took from Steiner, although he could have turned right onto 95 and then left onto Taylor. But it's more unlikely he came in this way through Walenta and then down to King and over onto Queen. Now next they're saying that suspect vehicle 1 can be seen entering the area a 4th time at approximately 4:04 a.m. It could be seen driving eastbound on King Road, stopping and turning around in front of 500 Queen Road number 52, then driving back westbound on King Road. When suspect vehicle 1 is in front of the King Road residence, it appeared to unsuccessfully attempt to park or turn around in the road. The vehicle then continued to the intersection of Queen Road and King Road, where it can be seen completing a 3-point turn, then driving eastbound again down Queen Road. So this would be the vehicle headed past 1122 King and doing its turnaround in the Queen Road apartment lot. Then it was seen heading back towards King Road, and it did the 3-point turn. Then it was seen one last time prior to the murders, headed back to in front of the house. Now in the PCA, it says that after the murders, it is seen departing the area of the King Road residence at approximately 4:20 a.m. at a high rate of speed. Suspect vehicle 1 is next observed traveling southbound on Walenta Drive. And then Payne says, based on his experience and knowledge of the area, he believes that he exited the neighborhood at Palouse River Drive and Conestoga, which heads back into Whitman County. So he was seen on camera headed this way. Now, after that is when they have no sightings of him on camera until he is back in Whitman County. Now, this is the possible route that Payne thinks he could have took. So it would take you from Walenta down to Sunnyside and Conestoga. So the next time he is seen on camera is at 5:25 a.m., or approximately 5:25, when he is observed on cameras in Pullman and the WSU campus. First recorded camera is at 1300 Johnson Road. Then he's observed traveling northbound on Johnson Road. Johnson Road leads directly back to West Palouse River Drive in Moscow, which intersects in Conestoga. The white sedan is then observed turning onto North Bishop Boulevard and northwest on State Route 270. At approximately 5:27 a.m., the white Elantra was observed on cameras traveling northbound on Stadium Way at Nevada Street, Stadium Way at Grimes Way, and Stadium Way at Wilson Road, then Stadium Way at Cougar Way. So here's Johnson Road turning onto Bishop Boulevard. And then from Bishop Boulevard, he would have gone to Highway 270, right on the edge of the WSU campus. And then 270, he would have turned on to Stadium Way. Then he'd be seen at Nevada Street, Grimes Way, and Cougar Way, all the way up towards the Coliseum. And that is consistent with the route he would be taking to get back home to Steptoe Village. So as you can see from the probable cause affidavit, he is caught on camera at several locations. So anyone that's saying that Brett Payne said he was not on camera at all is just flat out lying. That's not what was said during the motion to compel hearing. Now, I'm going to show you some routes he could have taken back to Pullman and the reason why he may not be on camera on the way back to Pullman until he got back into Whitman County. Okay, so this is one route. After leaving the King Road residence in Walenta, he could have gone over towards Steiner and down 95. However, they did not find his car on any of the footage from any of the businesses along 95. Now, this is that route that Brett Payne thought he may have taken, Conestoga to Palouse River Drive. And I would think that there would be some cameras from houses along here that would have caught him. So it kind of feels like maybe that's not what he took either. And then this would be the route going from Palouse River Drive over into Whitman County. Now, it is possible that some of the houses past Walenta on Conestoga and Palouse River didn't have security cams or ring cams, or for whatever reason, their motion sensors didn't catch him. And I imagine this route going onto Sand Road likely wouldn't have had any cameras out in this rural region. So it is possible he was able to slip by after Walenta without any cameras catching him. Now this kind of shows you the route better, going from Conestoga down to Palouse River Drive and then Sand Road and then going clear up through to Johnson Road and back to Pullman. Now he also could have taken this way, which would have bypassed Wasankari construction, because you'll remember that Ann Taylor was asking about footage from Wasankari. So he could have turned off before he got to Wasankari. And these are three of the routes he could have taken. So he could have actually gone back onto Highway 270, Highway 8 onto 270. He could have then gone down that other route that turns off by Wasankari, or he could have gone up north to Airport Road. Now, Airport Road does have 2 view cameras by the airport. So I imagine if he took Airport Road, they would have caught him on there, because Washington DOT does save their footage. Now, this is the one problem with Idaho. Why they do not have any Idaho footage from traffic cams is because Idaho DOT does not save traffic cam footage. Washington does, Idaho doesn't. So that was a big problem in this case as far as Idaho footage. And this further outlines those rural roads he could have taken out of Moscow. So again, it's possible he did not get picked up on any cameras after Walenta. And then he could have also headed over another way on Highway 8 and down another country road down to Blaine, which would have completely bypassed all the businesses on 95. And he could have cut across at Blaine or further down at another point to head back over to 95 and over into Whitman County. And remember, his phone started responding again by Blaine. So it's possible this route is what he took. And then this is where they started tracking pings once the phone started responding again. So they started tracing him down near Genesee, across over to Uniontown by Colton, and back up towards Johnson. So he obviously took a route that was south of Moscow, somewhere near Highway 95 and back over into Whitman County. But whether he was on 95 or not remains to be seen. And then this is just kind of the full map view, where you can see the route from Moscow kind of down towards Genesee and then over to 195 and back up to Pullman through Johnson. That's the route that the cell phone pings kind of make them believe he took. Now, if he were supposedly over at Hawaii Park, I don't believe he would have pinged near Blaine or any of that at all. This would be the way also that you would take going down to Hawaii Park. He would have no reason to go down Stadium Way towards Highway 270, honestly. The way I've always taken to Hawaii Park from Pullman, and everybody else that I know, is to go out past Sunnyside Park. So you go down Grand Avenue and then turn onto the highway there and then turn onto Old Hawaii Road and head off that way. You would not head towards Moscow at all on 270 or go down Stadium Way headed towards that intersection. So if you're coming out of his apartment, you would go down onto Stadium Way, then you would take a left by the Jack in the Box, by the way, because it's at the intersection of Grand Avenue and Stadium Way, and you would head on to Grand Avenue. And just so you can see coming out of his apartments, if he couldn't get onto Brandy Way because of the car accident that night, he could go around the other way from Garden Road over to Valley Road, and then Valley Road connects to Stadium Way. Now I put a little X right here because he was seen coming back by Johnson and Johnson Road. And if you were clear over at Hawaii Park, you would not head back to Pullman through Johnson Road. That would be clear out of your way. He would have had to cut back clear across east over to Colton, which would make no sense. And I just don't believe he was at Hawaii Park. I just don't. Given the directions he was seen going on Stadium Way, Nevada Street, everything down to 270, and then after his phone started responding again, where pings were, and also where his car was caught on video on Johnson Road, you would not be coming back from Hawaii Park on Johnson Road. You just wouldn't. Coming back on Johnson Road is consistent with coming back from the east, from Moscow. Of course, we're going to have to wait till trial. We're going to have to see the full cast report. We're going to have to see what they found GPS-wise on his phone. But I just don't believe he was west of Pullman or south of Pullman. I believe he was east over in Moscow during that time frame that his phone was not responding. But hopefully these maps helped a little, and hopefully this cleared up that they do have his car on camera at multiple locations. It's just the routes leaving Moscow after Walenta that they don't have his car on camera until it's seen again over in Whitman County on Johnson Road.